Hi everyone. Hope everyone is doing all good. Welcome to live stream with my neighbor Alice. My name is Mary. I'm a business development executive from Coinstore. Before we actually start the live stream, we will be having a Q&A giveaway session for a chance to win up to 400 Alice token, which is worth around 500 USDT. So here is how the giveaways will work. During our live stream, we will be discussing some key points and sharing some interesting facts. And this very details will be the answer to the questions in our exclusive Q&A in the Google form. So that means that you'll have to, of course, listen carefully to what we're going to be talking about if you want to win some Alice token. Maybe also make sure that you have downloaded the application, Coinstore application, and register an account first so you can be able to claim your reward if you are selected as our winner. So during the live stream, you will see the link which is pinned on the chat. That is the link to our Q&A Google form where it will have a set of questions based on today's discussion. Answer all of them correctly to stand a chance to win the giveaway. Once live stream is concluded, we will randomly select 10 users that answer all the questions correctly, and each winner will be able to get 40 Alice tokens. So the winners will be announced on our Twitter. So make sure you follow Coinstore's Twitter as well so that you will be updated. So a unique promo code will be sent as well to your email, which you can claim through our Coinstore application. Do note that the promo code will expire within 24 hours once we have sent it to your email. So please just to stay updated. And also note that only one person can use one email, like each email. So please submit one time and make sure that you answer everything carefully. So I'll go ahead and do a quick intro. So we will be talking about blockchain gaming, NFT, and my neighbor Alice for this stream. So there will be some gameplay or sharing during this stream. So what I would like to do now is to introduce you guys to our amazing and special guest for today for this fireside chat. So we have here Steve, who is a gaming director for My Neighbor Alice, and we also have Ricardo, who is our chief product officer for My Neighbor Alice. So yeah, please, Ricardo and Steve, if we can give our viewers some introduction about gameplay, My Neighbor Alice, your visions and goals.
those who plays and not and basically decentralize the power that there is when you make decisions in the game. I made other games in the past, all of them on blockchain, but my neighbor Alice definitely is the one that is getting the highest traction of all the one I did. And on the game side, there is Steve, which is a game director and is a great part of the team.
Yes, hello. Thank you for the intro, Ricardo, and also Mary. Also, thank you for the fireside chat. So I'm Steve. I'm the game director for My Neighbor Alice, which is, I would say, a pioneering blockchain game. Personally, I come from the games industry and have been there for over 13 years. So I've worked on many different games, including Angry Birds, Trolls, and several others in collaboration with major companies. So I traditionally come from games, and I've been always interested in blockchain and Web3 technology. So this is a really unique opportunity for me and for us as a team to, build something really great. And I hope we can show the world what we're trying to build here in a few minutes.
All right, that sounds amazing. Within our goal to show the world what this game is about and to give power to the players, I'm surely that that can be achieved. So I would actually I actually have some questions here prepared for you. So I'll proceed to answering or to asking these questions to you guys so that we can somehow give our viewers more details about what we have for My Neighbor Alice. So the first question that I have is. With the introduction of blockchain into the gaming industry, many players are probably still quite unfamiliar with this concept. So, if you could please tell us about the benefits of the integration of blockchain into the gaming world, like what is the unique feature of My Neighbor Alice that we can offer to its players?
Yeah, I'm happy to take this one for the intro. So I would say our vision for My Neighbor Alice is, first of all, as Ricardo said, we want to create the world's first community-driven, fully decentralized game, right? And we have three, I would say, major pillars that hold up this vision, which is power to the players, as you mentioned. We have social, sustainable, and evergreen, and we have bring blockchain to the masses, which is a bit what goes into your question here. And the benefits for us is that our vision of a blockchain game is a bit different than the standard NFT game vision that you might see. So we are striving to be a fully on-chain game. And what that means is that we want to be totally decentralized, so a game that basically lasts forever. And I'm sure Ricardo will talk lots about what that means. We have something that we call community-led governance. So we want a game that is not governed ultimately by us as the developers, but by the players that actually play the game. And the third major term, and there's many other things we could talk about, but is permissionless extension. So what we mean by that is basically user-generated content that you can see in games like Roblox or Fortnite, but on steroids, which is enabled by smart contracts, where not we as the developers determine how you can integrate your assets into the game, but you can do it in a trustless way enabled by smart contracts, for example.
Yeah, I guess that I can't. I mean, it really looks like my same thoughts. We want to give power to the player, and we want to do this by making a game that is truly owned by those who spend time in it, which are the players. And we recognize that the value of a game, mainly of a game that is a MMO, is vastly given by the people who spend time in that. And also, I agree on the part on Roblox and Fortnite. We want and we recognize that the value comes from the creators, and I think that's something that, to be honest, is very recognized around the metaverse, of the different metaverse projects, and then we need to facilitate this transition of power from the developers to the creators to the players, and that's what we want to do. And this is why we want to give power to the players. We want to. Also want to build a bit on top on the part of the smart contract that we have different from Roblox and Fortnite. As Steve said, I have much to say about this. We actually are using smart contract and blockchain in order to create a more welcoming environment, an environment made of trust. Blockchain is a trustless system. It means that you don't have to trust the other intermediary, because the smart contract makes sure that everything is according to rules and respects the rules that are set. And this is leveraging My Neighbor Alice instead of guaranteeing clear PvP mechanics, so one player against the other, in order to guarantee collaboration mechanics. And this is where is My Neighbor Alice is a world of collaboration, of forthcoming, of kindness, of working together. And ultimately, it's the part of being on-chain. On-chain, being entirely on-chain, it means being totally open to interoperability, which is the holy grail that our blockchain industry is promising, and the gaming blockchain industry is promising. And I think that interoperability and openness is really the key, because if we look at our industry in 5 years, probably we will see one metaverse. We will not see 200, 300, 500 different metaverse. If we need to have a self-contained metaverse, we already have Roblox, we already have Fortnite. What we need to create, what we need to propose to the players is something new, is something where everybody can plug and that allows to be interoperable.
All right, that's real. That really sounds amazing. For my neighbor Alice, for your goal to provide more value to the game, especially to the gamers who will spend time. That's really amazing. So I also have another question for both of you. Regarding the player base of my neighbor Alice, is the game made for a niche market for crypto or NFT enthusiasts and experts, or could players get into the game without much knowledge of crypto or blockchain?
Yeah, so that's something that's really dear to our hearts because, as mentioned, one of our core pillars is bring blockchain to the masses. So, and the theme and the genre of M&A is quite deliberate on our end, right? So, we believe there's lots of, I call them, edgy hype games already in the Web3 space, which are great and have their space. But we want to be the wholesome, more approachable big sister, if that makes sense. So players enter the world through I would call a cozy fantasy world into the Web3 ecosystem, and it's the window into our space, into the space of Web3 and blockchain. So to newcomers, all of this should be invisible. So they're drawn to the game because of the aesthetics, the graphics, the style, the emotion. And that's very important to me. And I know what I'm going to say will probably make Ricardo's heart bleed a bit. But just like when a new AAA game is announced, let's say the next Call of Duty Warzone, they don't really showcase the backend or server technology or the server stack they employ, right? So if they use Microsoft Azure or Amazon AWS, it's very important, very crucial technology, and it enables the game to be what they are. But it's not really what draws players in the first place, right? And they care about what they can do in the game and what they can be in the game. So to translate this into game terms, when you farm crops or catch fishes in M&A, that's actually a production transaction that happens in the background just seamlessly. And we're going to show this how this works actually in the stream. But it happens fully on chain, right? So there's no contracts to sign for a player or any gas fees to pay. You just play, and that's the beauty of it. And in fact, we got many comments recently about that's fake or this is impossible. And that's why we actually build something like a blockchain transaction block so that we can actually show players that the things that we do are really fully on chain. And it works so well, we think, that we want to showcase this here in the stream.
Yeah, I think that one of the decisions that we made with my neighbor Alice early in the days is to have a good art and to have a good quality game in compare with what is maybe the industry that is focusing a lot on the technology rightfully, and we are doing the same. At the same time, I understand that nobody plays AAA game because they're on a specific server or the other. I don't think that people will choose to play My Neighbor Alice because it's on blockchain. I think people should choose to play My Neighbor Alice because of the benefits that the blockchain gives. And those are the benefits that we have to market. To connect with what Steve was saying, our game is fully on chain. We have no servers. Everything goes directly to a node that then broadcast and mine the transaction and everything. And funny enough, this is a unicorn in the space. To my knowledge, there is no other game and definitely no other MMO that runs entirely on chain. And this is what we've been working in the last 3 years. We made sure that we have a system that can handle all the transaction, every single step, every single object you hit directly with the blockchain. To connect also to the question that you asked, I think that we made a lot of work on onboarding process and on the day-to-day playing experience in order to make it as frictionless as possible. At the moment, once you onboarding is way easier than it used to be. It's just few signature and no transactions on EVMs. But they do transaction on Chromia, but they happen without fees because we have a different revenue model than traditional blockchains. And we created the single sign-ons that works directly with MetaMask. Again, is something that it's not available in other projects, but we do give it to other projects. So if you see single sign-on on other platform, is actually a technology that was born with us and then it's been given out to other projects. We have our own launcher that makes sure that your keys and addresses are managed in a safe manner and they're delegated to the game. So what it means is that even if you have a wallet with a lot of money, only a portion of it is given to the game. And the maximum amount that if we are ever being hacked is actually smaller than the whole value of your wallet. And this is because we want players to have a good experience. We want them to be comfortable, to feel safe, and to be not frustrated by the process of playing the game, which is a bit the feeling that this industry gives. It's so complex to just arrive to play the game, and we wanted to make it easy. So if you just go on play.myneighboralice.com, you just can play today, and it works easy. And the easiness of onboarding, of playing, is really the product of many, many years of hard working from a lot of people. We have a very, very big team. We're around 50 people, most of them developers and designers. I mean, of course, it's big, but we are a technological company at the core. So we have a lot of developers, and we really think that the good foundation for a good project is having a good technology. And I don't know, what do you think, Mary? Maybe we can show it.
Yeah, I was wondering if we can show our viewers what the game is like, in this stream, like just a preview and how will it be. Yeah, if we could share them.
Absolutely, let's go ahead. I have everything prepared. Let's share.
Okay.
Just give me a heads up when we can see the game on stream, and I can show the world around.
All right.
All right, so here you can actually see how MyNeighborAlice looks like. It's my character here. You can see it's a third-person game where you can move your character around. And what you can see on screen right now is our town, which is called Lumestead. And in town, you will meet many different players, many different NPCs. So, for example, here we have Björn, which is one of our NPCs. And you can approach them, you can talk to them. And yeah, this is just one part of the game where we introduce this wonderful world of MyNeighborAlice. But I think the more interesting part when it comes to this talk is that we have this world, the archipelago here, and with that very different, you could call them islands, you could call them biomes. They just have very unique different styles. So, for example, up here we have the medieval plains, and within the medieval plains you will have several subregions. And for now, two of those regions are actually live. You can see Rusty Peaks here and Tony Walls. So, for example, I have a land in Rusty Pikes. So you can see the individual lands that exist. And when I zoom in, you can actually see the lands that exist. So every square, every tile that you see here is an individual land that can be individually owned by players. So, and I can actually go back and show you around my plot a bit. Let me quickly travel there. Should take just a second. And here we are. This is my current land. So as you can see, it's in this very beautiful, almost like autumn-like theme. That's the theme that we call Rusty Pikes. And I've actually gone ahead. I have lots of things already prepared. You could almost say this is my base. So I have lots of objects here. I have some really nice NFTs here that I've bought on our marketplace and traded with other players. Then you have crafting stations here, like this crafting table, and you can craft certain recipes. And then we want to talk a bit about what this means, actually. So we have in-game craftables. So, for example, this umbrella here. But you also have Alice items where you can actually craft with Alice and actually then place them on your plot. But we go into what this means in a second. And one other thing I wanted to highlight, which is in the name of the game, which is MyNeighborAlice. I think, Ricardo, you should be here somewhere too, right? Let me see if I can find you. Are you on the tower up top?
Yes, I'm on top of the mountain, of the tower.
So everything you see here is actually created and landscaped by players. So this is Ricardo's own land, and he has actually built this tower with the in-game tools that we have. So this is not like preset by the developers. I mean, technically we are developers, but I guess you know what I mean. I still can't see you, but
Yeah, let me come.
I think he should be here somewhere. Maybe I have to reconnect because I've been in the game for quite a bit, but
Oh, no, let me come. I will reach you on top.
all right. So as you can see here, the beautiful surrounding land that we have. So wherever I look, that's land from other players. So I think that's one of our unique selling points, you could almost say. Like Ricardo is my direct neighbor. We can see what the other one is doing. The world updates in pretty much real time. Everything is stored on chain. So that's great. And there's Ricardo.
Yeah, jumping up the stairs, and here I am.
So as you can see, everything is live, so this is not scripted. So yeah, here's Ricardo. Ricardo's wearing his own clothes. These are all also equipables. Like the equipables that you see is actual NFTs that you can earn and
Yeah,
equip.
maybe you can follow me. I'll show you a
Yes,
bit about it and about my plot. I'm very proud of it. And then we can go to see the L maybe, so I can show you how I crafted um my my new outfit. So
yes,
what I can do, for example, is to get my resources here, and with this is what I actually use when I purchase, when I craft new items, new NFTs. So in order to craft NFTs, I need actually to play the game, and then I'm very very proud about my couch. So we can sit together if you want and look at your plot.
of course. I love to look at my plot. So yeah, this couch that Ricardo or that we're sitting on right now is actually one of the craftable NFTs that we have, and this is in collaboration with L, which is one of our brand partners, right? The magazine L. And I don't know, I can't zoom in that much, but I'm not sure if you can see it. There's like these hearts and these Paris like the Eiffel Tower on there. So it's very close to the style of that Alice, sorry, that L wants to see. And here Ricardo's fishing a bit, and maybe I can also fish myself. So these are one of the resources that you need to progress. And what actually happens, I would say, on the back end is actually when I fish. This is an actual blockchain transaction. So when I get a fish here, and let me quickly get it. It's a bit tricky while talking and streaming. And now I got a fish. And as you can see in the right side of the UI, you could say this is an actual token that's being minted while I've been doing this action. And to maybe demonstrate this a bit more is on my plot here, I have various resources as Ricardo has shown. And just to show everyone how this works, we have these tools. There's a pickaxe here. You equip it. You have different tiers of ore. And you go there, you simply mine this thing. It takes a while. And then as you cross this threshold, now actually a resource is minted, like a token is minted. It exists in my inventory. I can see my inventory with all the items that I have. And somewhere in here, I have lots of items already. A stone has been minted. So one of these here, I guess this one. So that's a bit about MyNeighborAlice to just showcase you what we're talking about. And I think we can continue.
Yeah, it really looks amazing, looks fun to me that you can be with your friends, with any players that you'd like to be. And yeah, it's definitely a good game and a game changer. So before we actually proceed to other questions that we have in store for you for this fireside chat, um I just want to announce the Q&A that we're going to have for our viewers for them to win Alice tokens. So right now the Q&A form link will appear in the chat. So just make sure to answer all the questions correctly so that you can stand a chance to win Alice tokens. Our Google form will be closed within 2 hours once the live stream concludes. And do take note that um, only each email can be able to submit one time. So make sure to answer questions carefully. So yeah, I'll proceed to our remaining question, Ricardo and Steve. So blockchain gaming provides a virtual marketplace where the economy is driven by the players themselves, right? So, if you could please explain to the viewers, tell us about the player driven economy that has been integrated to My Neighbor Alice.
I think that Steve is giving a prime example now while he's going through the L plot. The
Right.
real idea is that we want to give power to the players. That's really what is the most important thing to us. And we do that by giving them the power of creating assets, of creating NFTs, as we showed everything that you do when you fish, when you get the resources, you're actually doing that on blockchain. Then you use these resources in order to
Mhm.
craft items. So if you visit the plot of L, you can get a blueprint, you can get a ticket, which essentially is the right and the knowledge. It's like in other games, it's called recipes to create an item. But then to actually mint it, it can only be done by players who have those resources, who play the game, that actually put effort in that. And this also means that players can monetize their experience if they have good taste, if they know, if they have the right resources and stuff. And
Mhm.
this, to us, is the way that we can reward the players in place of NFT traders, of people that are spending time on OpenSea, buying NFTs. Wiping the floor, increasing the floor price, and actually taking advantage of the ones that actually want to enjoy the game. We want to create an economy, a token economics that actually rewards not people that are speculating on a project, but those that believe in a project, find a good time into playing, find a good value into being in part of a community that collaborates in order to be good neighbors and have good time.
All right. Thank you so much for that answer. I see that our viewers can be able to see how how the game is being previewed. So it's really fun in my own opinion. So also
Can I, sorry, one
yeah,
second, can I expand on this? Because I wanted to just give a few more words to the player-driven economy from my side.
yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
I think it will be very interesting to all the listeners because M&A is supposed to have economy that's completely driven by players, and I want to also elaborate a bit on what that means. So every resource in the economy, for example, the iron that you saw here, is actually minted by players themselves. So because they're token on blockchains, this means that players then ultimately, we still in alpha, of course, so that's functionality that will come. But players can buy, sell, trade these items with each other, and they kind of can build their wealth and progress within the game. So, and where it gets interesting now is that all the islands that I've shown, they are supposed to have unique resources in the future, so they can only be gotten there. And this is an incentive for players to then engage in trade. So, for example, if I want to craft a certain NFT that Ricardo has mentioned, but I need a resource from a specific other island. So, for example, I'm here in the Rusty Pikes now. So, imagine I need the special wood from the Shaded Headland, for example, which you can see here. Then it means I would probably need to engage in trade with someone who is on Shaded Headland. And the idea then is that markets have some form of locality. So this means that you can put an item on sale, for example, in a certain location, and it will only appear in that location. And you can, of course, then take advantage by this by gathering those resources, for example, chopping wood, and then buying those resources or selling them on the market and transporting it to another market, potentially for profit or potentially for engaging with other players. So, for example, I could go to Ricardo. You've seen he's the neighbor of my plot. I say, hey, Ricardo, I need some wood to finish my current project. Do you have some wood? And maybe it tells me that he needs some stone. So we engage in trade. So that's the whole idea is ingrained in the name of our game. My neighbor Alice. You always want to engage with your neighbors. And this, I think, opens very interesting playstyles as everyone can choose to be mostly self sufficient. But I think the full beauty of the game unlocks when you engage with your neighbors.
I agree as well. This kind of gameplay that we have, that you can be able to engage. It really, achieves your vision, your goal, which is to provide more value and power to the players, which is really, really being shown in this kind of game. So I just also wanted to ask, since gaming has evolved a lot throughout the year, so from play to play. pay to play and to free to play gaming models. Right now, with blockchain gaming, we now have a play to earn model where players could earn crypto tokens just by playing video games. So, if you could please tell us, what do the players earn and how do they earn it within My Neighbor Alice?
Yeah, I'll start with this, and Ricardo, feel free to jump in then. But we have a play to earn model that is, I think, best described as collateralized NFTs. And what this means is that we have certain Alice items, and I think I've gotten a showcase here. Let me go back to my crafting station here. So items that you can see here that have this Alice coin icon here. As you can see within the ingredients for this, you have to pay Alice, and you actually stake Alice within. So this means when you craft this NFT, which is actually the minting part, you lock some Alice into that NFT. So for example, 50% in this case. So you pay 6 Alice and you lock 50% in. So 3 Alice are actually locked into it. These are then in the NFT and they determine the price floor for the NFT. So if you think in analogies of OpenSea, there you can have potentially an NFT which has floor prices which are purely bound by the market. And we basically determine the floor price by locking these Alice in there. And why is that? Because we want to give you the functionality to burn one of these Alice items to always get your Alice back. So in the meaning of this is that your NFT will never be worth less than the actual Alice that you have collateralized within that item. And in addition to that, you earn Alice staking rewards based in the locked Alice amount. So, for example, if I would craft this item, I would have 3 Alice staked in that, and it would be the staking amount where I earn Alice upon, which currently is 18% APY.
Yeah, so this is the staking part, and we're now giving 18%, as Steve said. On the play to earn part, we are trying to codify what Roblox and Fortnite have been doing. So we want to basically create a better creator economy. And we do that by having three phases. The first one is to have artists that create the 3D asset. The other one is to have creators that specifies the boundaries of this asset. For example, an artist can create a table, a creator can decide the color and the material, and then this information is put into the game, and people can, by completing quest or paying a fee to the creator, get the right of creating that NFT. So there is no NFT that is created by us, by MyNeighborAlice. Every NFT that comes in the game is actually minted by the players with the resources that they got from their own plot or the plot that they rented, because it's also possible to rent plot in MyNeighborAlice. And so every single items that there will be in the economy will actually be crafted by one person, then decides to keep it or to sell it to someone. And this is to us is the way that we can create play to earn, because if there is no asset and people want to use them because they want to express themselves, they can only get them from players. And this is a guarantee that if you are a strategic player, if you know what you want to craft and what the market wants, then it's a good market, in my opinion. And this is the other three specialization that are needed. Players needs to have the experience in able to craft certain items. So, for example, you have to be level 3 to craft a certain specific item. You need to have good taste, because when you craft something, you actually select the personalization. So there is a fashion taste that you have to develop, and then also you have to be strategic. It's not possible to craft every single items, because the idea is that there are a lot of creators, there are a lot of assets that are to be crafted. You have to, as a player, you have to make choices on what to craft based on the resources that you have. And using this strategic layer is also a level of specialization into the play to earn. So we're actually creating a model where people that are playing the game, that are committed, that spend time, that know the game and enjoy it, can profit.
All right. Thank you so much, Steve and Ricardo, about that. So I just wanted to summarize things up. Aside from giving power to the players, being on chain, what makes My Neighbor Alice special or maybe unique from the other games? Like, what basically is the thing that separates My Neighbor Alice from other games that are currently in the market right now?
Okay, maybe I can start. There are three items that set us apart. But first and foremost, we are a fully on-chain game that feels frictionless without any complications, and that's our goal. So the only way I can say, oh, I see some neighbors. The only way I can say this is try it and keep in mind that there is no server behind. And this, I think, is very big and is the foundation of something very big. And the second thing is we are technologically solid. We spent all this year building something, and I think now it's visible. I think that the market was down. We didn't stop. We kept building, and now we are coming out with something that, in my opinion, is truly revolutionizing. And we want to use this technology with everyone. We want to give it out to other games. We really believe in interoperability. We don't see ourselves as a gaming company. We see ourselves as a blockchain company that is making a game. And with this idea and with vision of empowering players, we want to give this on-chain layer to as many projects as possible. And that's what we are working on. And the third point is that we believe in collaboration over PvP. In Alice, if you collaborate, you should always have a higher reward, a higher yield than if you play against your neighbors, against the people. And this, to me, is a beautiful act of kindness towards the gaming community and the blockchain community as well, showing that actually it's possible to work together and it's good to work together rather than being once against the other.
And I agree with that. Also from a gaming perspective, and again, like my forte is gaming. That's what I do. I think this is one of the, especially with the Chromia blockchain that powers this whole game. I think it's one of the first blockchains that really enables, from my perspective, very unique possibilities because as Ricardo mentioned, we want to have this permissionless platform too. We want to have a platform for creators, basically, where other players in the future can add, I would say, almost mods or user-generated content to the game, as you know it from many other games that do this. But as we said, we want to do it in a permissionless way. So we don't want to be the gatekeepers of what you think a mod should be or a mod shouldn't be. Ultimately, you should have full freedom as a creator. And another thing which I'm personally, which I just want to give a short anecdote about, basically, is which I would call um, what's the best word for it? It's almost forever games. I think we talked about this a bit. So live games are here to stay that we already have. And the problem is that an entity, for example, a big company or a passionate community or even an indie developer, they can always shut it down, right? So, and this can be a lack of profitability, time commitment, inability to work on the project, or countless other factors. So one of the reasons why I believe in and building towards this dream scenario that we have with MyNeighborAlice is this permissionless extension. And what this means for me is also that we can put game logic and expose it on the chain in a way that everyone can access it. They can look at it. They can see, oh, this is how phishing works. You know, we're not being fooled here, or we're not being scammed in terms of like many gacha games that you know. So you can actually look into it. You see how this works. And hopefully, when the bombs fall at some point, I hope the games we're working on can still be accessed, by our future generations. Because as long as some PCs online that hosts the blockchain that MyNeighborAlice is working on, you can still play the game, and that's very important to me.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. What makes my neighbor Alice unique? I also agree. You guys have this vision that if you work together, it can definitely create something solid. And I am so proud as well that within market before, you guys are still building. You guys are not stopping, and I can say that it's being, I mean, it's being known, being visible in the space right now. So within your goals, within your vision, you are really really showing within this game, you're really showing the viewers how my neighbor Alice work, and it really reflects your goal as within the game. So I just have one last questions for you. So entering the 2024, we are on quarter 1 now. If you guys have any upcoming events, any upcoming projects, any new goals that you guys would like to share for our viewers?
Yeah, I guess. My neighbor Alice is built mostly on Chromia. We use various EVM machines, Ethereum, BNB chain, but mostly is on Chromia. And Chromia announced that we'll release the mainnet this year, and our goal is to be in mainnet soon after, just after it's been released on mainnet Chromia itself. So we expect to be in mainnet and fully launched by during this year, or really was the end of the year, depending on when Chromia will be released. But it's our commitment now to be fully live as soon as possible. This is my good wish for 2024. Let's see if I make it.
Oh, you will. You guys definitely will. So that actually concludes my question for you guys. Thank you so much for answering everything. I'll just go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much, everyone, to our viewers, to our wonderful hosts, Steve and Ricardo. Thank you for participating, giving us your wonderful time today. So then again, to our viewers, we have this Q&A giveaway. So make sure to answer questions correctly, and only one each email can submit. So that's it. You can also view this live within Coinstore application, Coinstore website, and in YouTube and in Twitter as well. So have a nice day, everyone. Then again, my name is Mary from Coinstore. I'm a business development executive. Thanks for watching our fireside chat within our wonderful guests, Ricardo and Steve from My Neighbor Alice.
Thank you so much,
Th-
Mary.
Thank you,
And
and thank you to all the team for hosting us here today.
all
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.
Bye bye.